Yo, what is up, guys? So, guys, another day so far. So, back on F122, as you can see, doing another multiplayer online vidno for today's one. Doing 3 races for today, doing some online racing. First one was at Monza, what we're doing right now, and then I'll do the other two at Brazil and Spa later on in the vidno, so make sure you stay tuned for that, because these races are very good when I did this. So, stay tuned for that. So the first race is at Monza, heading towards turn 1. Got an okay start, just trying to avoid the instant or carnage or something like that. But not too bad through there, so I'll take that all day. Got some good drivers in there, average drivers in there as well, including Walcott, Cyclo, Man, Danny as well, are very good drivers, very quick as well, and average as well at the same time. And also we've got a very good driver as well, kind of P8 at the moment in this race, or P10 right now. He's very quick as well. Another quick driver in there, so he's very quick. We've got some others in there as well, kind of in ANL lead as well. There was a little bit of carnage there in the middle sector, so it was like 3 wide, about 15 seconds. So that was quite weird there. So luckily I managed to avoid it. Daddy got spun there, so eventually, so well, at least I managed to survive all that. So I managed to get a good exit here. He went a little bit wide, but luckily I managed to get through. So I had to avoid that instant there. So the first lap was interesting and average first lap, so lucky I survived all that. So this one, today's video is all about we're just having some fun. Racing in F2 cars, so because we're just doing it for fun. Just trying to get past Man, who's I know him very well since I think I know him for a couple of years now. So since 2020 at the time when the game was around at the time when I was doing this game. Yeah, so he's not too bad, but I'm okay with it. And then we had an instant here at turn 3. I don't know what just happened there. I mean, I did apologise after that, and he apologised to me, so it's kind of an instant, really. So, I mean, it's just an accident, really. So, I don't know. It happens all the time, really. So, at least we apologise, and then we can continue from there. Yeah, got into P8 at the end of the first sector. Not too bad. So yeah, so this race was really good for a couple laps because I was following some of the guys right in front of me, having some nice battles for top 5, even the top 3 at this stage, but I'm just trying to get closer and then go from there. Yeah, so very good battles and close racing, some of the good racing as well. That'll be later on in the vidno. Fighting for the win, and also Brazil was I'll show you that in a second. You see what happens, and including Spa as well. We had some good race. We had some nice racing there. So at Spa and Brazil, not too bad. But I'll show you. It will be later in the vidno, so make sure you stay tuned for that. So I've shown you 3 today. This one, Monza, the first race, and then Brazil, second, and then Spa, the last race of the day, race 3. So stay tuned for that. So far so good at Monza. This video, well, as you can see at the top left, instead of doing 5 laps, we're doing a 25%. So a little bit. I thought that's well, okay, a little bit weird when I first started, and then I was like, I understand it a little bit. So yeah, so instead of doing 5 laps, we're doing 25%. So I do an extra few laps or something. So quite interesting in doing this race, and I was okay with it afterwards, and I was okay doing this, so it's fine from there. So those two got 2 seconds of penalties, and then that guy who made a mistake there, that puts me to P7, so that was fine by me. He's very quick, so not gonna lie. So I think that's the guy who race against Nimis. that's his name, Nimbus F1 or TRL Nimbus, that used to be his name on the F1 games. He's very quick. Those two had a nice battle at Singapore. I did watch the race, and it turns out it was really cool. It was really good between those two. Yeah, he's the one to watch because he's very quick. As you can see there, wasn't expecting to cut the chicane there, but I found it quite funny. I mean, we're already here for doing this for fun anyway. The good news is he did net me back through, so that's fair enough. I think he's just, well, he was just, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, maybe he was not, I don't know, watch this. I don't know, maybe he's not happy about what he made a mistake there, so I think he's just doing it for fun, and we're all doing it for fun, so we just here to have a good time. Like that. Managed to get a good exit on this straight, so I might have a chance for P6 down towards turn 8. I did give him space. It turns out he pushed me into the wall, so I don't know what just happened there. He did give me a warning, so kind of a bit harsh there. Yeah, so I'm not sure what just happened there. I mean, I did give him space, but he just tapped me or pushed, trying to close the door on me down towards turn 8. And then that guy was on the inside. I had to go around the outside, side by side at the last corner. At the end of lap 4, already at halfway in this race. We went from going okay till 8th once again. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think that was a kind of bit fair, or I know it's not fair because he did close the door. He did push me off slightly, but he only gave me a tap. And then he pushed this guy off as well at turn 2, so that puts me to P7. So yeah, so I don't know why he's doing that. Well, luckily I'm kind of P5 at the moment on the road, so I might have a chance for a top 5 at the end of this race if it stays like this. I'll try my hardest to fight back if I do get into an instant or make a mistake, or even that happened a lap ago, a little bit close the door on me or something like that. I'm still with this DRS, so I might have a chance maybe later in the lap. So we've only got 3 laps remaining, so in this race, but still got time though. But this would have been the last lap of the race, but luckily we've got another 3 laps, so do it 25%. So there's no pit stops, what you normally do in the 25% if you're in F1 cars, but this one is in F2, so luckily there's no pit stop, so I can just continue going around in circles, do the best I can and all that. Now, this guy made a mistake at the last corner. That puts me into P6. I think his name's Jason97, if that's his name, if I'm getting that wrong, so my apologies if I'm getting that wrong. Yeah, so that's the guy who made a mistake at the last corner. So that puts me to P6. Those two having a nice battle for P4 on the road. So it turns out I'm going to be P4 on the road if it stays like this. I decided to back out a little bit here, so I only left off slightly and then I'm back on the power again. So, because I don't want to get into this tangled. And then he decided to go down the inside, trying to get a good exit, but it turns out it didn't happen. Decided to wait till the next straight, so hoping I have a chance from there. And then coming towards through here, I turned a little bit too early, got me another warning. So that feels like that's kind of my first warning there, but if it wasn't for that warning down that straight, that would have been my first warning, but I would have been okay with that. I mean, I did turn a little bit too early, but I did stay behind them to make it fair. I am still close for P4 on the road, so the top 3 are gone. So Walcott is definitely in the top 3 for sure. I mean, he's miles away. And then Psycho is kind of did spun on that too, I think, down towards the second chicane. And then Danny's right behind me, so he's definitely making recover from that spin on that one. So me and Danny are just trying to recover from there. So yeah, fair play to Danny, because he's had an accident on that one, and then like that. And then I didn't mean to tag this guy around, so My apologies for that, so I didn't mean to. I'm not sure that was Avenge from map 4, when he closed the door on me or something, nearly pushed me into the barrier. And then that guy just let me through, so that got me P4s. So, yeah, I know he's got 12 seconds of penalty, so, I mean, there's no point fighting me, so, because I'll be, I mean, I know he's quick, but maybe he wants to, and he's just waiting for this guy to have a nice battle on that. Human got DNF there, this guy who won, Walcott came second, so fair play to him, so nothing, he also had a nice race for the top 3. I managed to cost an even P4, so I'll take top 5 all day, finish P4, not too bad at all. So that's the results for this race at Monza. Psycho did finish in the top 10, managed to get P7, so not too bad at all. Yeah, so that's the results from the first race. So a little bit average, good battles, okay first race for me, so I'll take that all day for that one. So now the next race is at Brazil, Interlagos. So I haven't done Brazil in a while, so I thought we'd give it a go around Brazil in F2 cars. See if we give it a test. So I had a good start. I started on the front row, P2. And I was trying to get down the inside from Thomas22, who was on pole. Luckily I got past him straight away. Managed to get a really good exit at turn 2 and 3 onto this next straight. And then I got the lead down towards turn 4. And I got about 9/10, or nearly a second, by the end of the first sector. So yeah, so far so good on that one. And I'm a second ahead already, time I got to the corners in the middle sector, about halfway around the lap. So just trying to get a good first snap. That's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm still increasing the lead over a second and a half now. Time we got to the next few corners by the end of the middle sector right now. So yeah, so racing at Brazil at Interlagos. I'm still leading by the end of lap 1. This is 10 laps, so instead of 5 laps. So 10 laps for this one, so this is going to be an interesting one. When I was doing Brazil, I found it alright in those cars around Brazil. So maybe we could put, maybe we can do one race around Brazil one day. Well, like we're doing right now. Maybe another one in the future. Maybe a month later or a couple of weeks later. I don't know if we're doing Brazil again. So we're on lap 2. I've got a 2-second gap from P2, so we are making progress increasing. And then I got my first warning there. That's kind of a bit stupid for me. I mean, turned a little bit too early again. I keep doing that every time. I know we keep going wide and I'll be alright, but... And then I turned a little bit too early here, once again, in the middle sector. So I've got 2 warnings already. So one more warning and I get a 3-second penalty. So I need to be careful not to get a 2-second penalty. So in case I drop back to P3 or something, I don't know. Lucky at the moment, I'm still leading by 3 seconds by the end of the middle sector. So I've got a 3-second gap. So far so good at the end of lap 2. I am setting purple first 2 sectors. And I am definitely getting the fastest lap at the end of lap 2. So I set the 17.9 on lap 2. So not bad. Into the 17s there. But I'll take it all day. DOS is available now, so I can just relax a little bit. And this guy is quick, so not my fastest lap. So fair enough. As we move on to lap 5, so skip for about nearly 2 laps. So I'm still leading the race, so fair enough. No penalties just yet. And the second place guy who has a 2-second penalty, he's definitely gaining a little bit for a few laps. And then Danny's got a 2-second penalty as well. He's in the top 3 as well. 2 seconds as well, another 2-second penalty for Danny. So those 2 have got penalties, so I might have a chance. If I don't get a 2-second penalty, I might have a chance of winning a race from there. Some of the guys are kind of going backwards, but luckily I managed to hold on at this stage. Yeah, not doing too bad at the moment. At this stage. So I'm still leading by 4 seconds. So that's a massive gap. Well, I had so far leading in this race. So we're only at halfway in this stage. So we are making progress. So would have been the last lap by now, but so I still got another 5 laps remaining. So still a long way to go. So I'm already about halfway. As you can see on the, I'm checking my tyres, checking where I'm on, like 26, 28% right now at halfway. So my tyre wear's not too bad after 5 laps, so I'm okay with that. So we're on lap 6 now. Danny set the fastest lap of the race, so he's definitely catching P2, and while P2 is catching me, the leader. So I'm still surviving, but luckily so far so good from there. So just need to hang on and hopefully I don't get a 2-second penalty, and hopefully and don't make mistakes from there and all like that. As we move on to the end of lap 8, 2 laps later, by lap 9, the P2 guy is definitely getting closer by a second now. Time we get to lap 9, and Psycho is into P4. He's got a 2-second penalty as well, but he's definitely miles away, so he's definitely not catching me up in time. And then Hueyman, who's 5th, who's doing really well. He's got another 2-second penalty as well. It looks like all of them have got penalties apart from me. So I think me and Walcott are the only 2 people in this race that didn't have penalties in this race. So that's quite fair. So yeah, quite interesting. As we come towards the middle sector now, VSR, where his name is, he's definitely in my DRS zone right now. He's about half a second behind me. So now, this is where I have to go offensive on the last lap. Luckily, it's not a 25. Luckily, it's not a 50-cent race, so that would have been another 5 laps if it was a 50-cent race. So luckily, it's not a 50% race, because I would have been struggling a little bit on the straights, fending and all that. We're approaching the end of lap 9 now. One more lap to go in this race. I had to cut out a bit because I was leading still, so I had to cut out a bit, so saving a little bit of time. And also I was leading still, so I don't want to make it boring for you guys. So I decided to cut out a little bit there. So coming towards the end of turn 4, I managed to defend at turn 1 nicely. Started to go defensive. He started to go around the outside with DRS. Started to go defensive there. Luckily I managed to hold on. I could let him through and finish P2 and all that, but I want to win it on track, so that's why I was spending so much. And also I want to win it on track as much as I can. So like that. So in the middle sector now, one last time. This is the last lap, by the way. And Walcott is up to P5, so fair play to him. He has no penalties as well, so not too bad. It looks like Psycho is going to be P4. I think the other guy got DNF'd in that race, so maybe it wasn't his race. I managed to turn a little bit too early there, once again. I'm not going to even get a warning for that. So I decided to go defensive on the inside, so he doesn't go to the inside, so he can go the long way round. Luckily enough, I just won it just in time. So that got me the victory at Brazil. So I was quite happy with the race, leading since lap 1 really, by the first turn. So I was happy with the race. I'll take the victory all day, and me and Walcott are the only ones with no penalties. So I was quite happy with it. So with no penalties, so if I had a penalty, it would have been 1/1000th of a second between me and P2. So that would have been the closest finish there. So as we move on to Spa, the last race of the day, starting on pole at front row once again. So this race was really good between me, Walcott, Psycho, and also the other guy as well, who's very quick as well. He's P5 right now, as you actually see the name. He's very quick. Yeah, so this race was really good. between me, Walcott, for the first 3 laps. For the first 2 laps, I meant to say. And then me and Psycho and the other guy were fighting for the lead on the last lap. So you'll see that later on in the lap. So we've got 6 laps around Spa. So it is 25% once again. So we've got another lap extra around Spa. So yeah, why not? So managed to hold on for the lead for now. So not too bad. So far so good. At the halfway round of that. It turns out when I went through the middle sector, it turns out my car's really good. And it turns out my driving's really good. It turns out the middle sector's and where I gain the time from. And all the others are good on the straights and all that. So lucky I got a little bit more downforce. And it kind of helps a little bit through the middle sector. So it's fine. So that's kind of what I need really. And then that gave me good through the corners and all that. So at the end of the first lap, now onto this other straight with no DRS. So thank God there's no DRS on this straight. Kind of a bit awkward if it was DRS on this straight. So coming towards Spa-Shot Chicane for the first time at the end of the first lap. I have to work go defensive at this corner, so I can just take it normally at the end of the first lap, and not too bad through there. Walcott set the quick. Well, I mean, I got the quickest time because I crossed the line first at the end of the first lap. Normally, you get that first. So now coming towards the exit of turn 1, Walcott's going to try and get me again down the Kemmel Straight towards the end of the first sector, up the Sourouche on the Kemmel Straight, trying to get past me again, like on that one. Not too bad through there. Once again, so I go to offensive again. So he got me space, I gave him space, and we were both fighting for the lead. So I decided to go. Well, I turned a little bit too early there. That got me off a first warning there, but I didn't mean to turn that early. I was worried he was going to close the door on me and all that, but luckily he didn't. So I was kind of my bad really. Another mistake. Well, I do make mistakes sometimes, kidding some people I know very well. In this lead, ANL is that All National Lead. That's the name of the lead. So, I mean, that's a go. I mean, yeah. So we've been there. I mean, it's not a bad one, but we do understands what to do and make our range from there and all that. And now I've got another warning in the middle sector, so I'm on my last warning already. We haven't got to end that 2 yet. Yeah, it is quite harsh sometimes on these warnings and restricted. They are quite harsh sometimes. Feels a bit unfair, but I mean, it's fine. I mean, luckily it's not a lead race or something like that, or a championship lead race, like each round or something. Luckily it's just lobbies and all that kind of stuff. It's not too bad. So yeah, that too. Still leading. Managed to hold on. Not too bad so far. Walcott set the fast lap of the race right now. He's definitely much faster than me, but he's got a nice toe behind me. So now DOS is available, so he's going to take the lead at the end of the first sector. So it looks like I'm kind of struggling on the straights right now. Kind of screwed at this point. Went a little bit well as I like. So I managed to. Well, he's got the inside this time, so I had to give him space. Lucky he got me space. He's got DRS. I think he didn't use DRS. I think he didn't use DRS on this straight, so maybe he was. I don't know. Maybe he had the inside. I think he had the inside anyway. So I was like, okay, that's fair enough. So I decided to follow him now on that 3, hoping I can get him back on the next lap, on that 4 maybe, or even the last lap maybe, saving it for lap 6 or something. That's kind of better really. So now it's not just Walcott I'm fighting against. I've got P3 guys fighting as well, who's right behind me, about 9/10. It's cruising through the middle sector. I am gaining nearly a few thousands through there from Walcott, so I do have a little bit more downforce than he has. So because I need it through the corners slightly. So yeah, I'm still with Walcott's sight. So I am still right behind him through the middle sector. And so come towards through here. I'm definitely in his toe. And about a few seconds now, I'm definitely catching him on this straight. I had to nip off a little bit just to stay behind him through here. And I can get my foot down. I decided not to go for the move at the bus stop because I want to save it for the Kemmel Straight. So that's kind of the best place to overtake. Got the DRS still here. But he managed to get a 10th through there. So, and then this guy set the fastest lap. So, I mean, he's very quick anyway. Trying to get a good exit here. But it turns out it didn't work. And I'm kind of a few tenths back that I was expecting. So I was trying to get through normally. Nicely, but it's not too bad. But that guy had a really good exit. So I've got DRS. He has DRS. Well, we're definitely getting closer to Walcott by a 10th. But he's managed to go around the outside. I had to go to the inside. And that got me a 2-second penalty. And it went a little bit deep, went wide there. And then so I lost P2 on that section. So now I'm dropped to P3. So that's fine enough. So now I've got to try to stay with these two. Hopefully I can still fight for the lead of this race. I mean it's not his fault, so I just went a bit too early on the turning. I just turned a little bit too early. That got me a 2-second penalty. Through the middle sector now, so this is where I should gain maybe a few thousands through there. Try and get a good exit here. Not too bad. At least I can get a warning from there. I am a little bit too far back to get the toe. He might be a little bit closer. Just make sure I don't, yeah, try and make sure I don't get any warnings before it gets worse. He's trying to go down the inside at the bus stop, so that might be a chance to give me a few tenths back, so I might get a little bit closer. I didn't get DRS on this straight, so that's kind of a bit weird. I think I'm not in the second zone or something. And then now, coming towards Nat 5, Psycho, who's right behind me, who's in P4, he's definitely in my DRS zone now. So I've got Psycho right behind me now, so I'm just kind of going backwards at this point. I am not giving up from P3 though. I've still got DRS from Walcott, so that's kind of helped a little bit for P3. So that's fine by me. So looks like Walcott's got the lead back and managed to get through there nicely. No warnings. Not too bad through there. So that gave me a few tenths back through there. Side by side there. A little bit wide there, so didn't mean to do that. I wasn't going to do that on purpose. Luckily I didn't get a warning there, so that's fine. I didn't gain a advantage there, so it's fine. Through there nicely. The leader has a 2-second penalty because he went wide at this turn. So that might be an opportunity to get P3 or something if it stays like this. So through the middle sector once again. So this is the top 4 fighting for the lead right now. And also top 3 as well for a podium. So this is really nice battle going on here. So I'm fighting for P3 and those two are fighting for the lead of this race. And we've still got another lap remaining, so this would have been the last lap, but we've got one more lap to go. So for this one. So Psycho's right behind me, so I had to go. I'm not sure I went defensive, but it turns out he didn't. Walcott went to the inside. I didn't mean to tag him, so that was my bad. So sorry for that. My apologies there. Lost momentum on this straight. Psycho was on my left. I was going to in the middle. And then that guy decided to go behind Walcott to get the DRS. So that's kind of smart there. Good thinking there. So that was good thinking. Good smart. And then I let Psycho go through because I want the DRS. So I decided to follow him so I could get more speed down the straight. And then coming towards the Kemmel Straight, Walcott is definitely he's going backwards. It's 3 wide on the Kemmel straight. Managed to get past those 2 before the end of the straight. Make that 3. Gone a little bit too deep there, but luckily I didn't get an eagle overtake, so that's fine. So I don't know what's going on with this game because it's broken. Psycho is still on my inside, but luckily I managed to hold on for now, and I managed to get the lead back. So I was quite, wasn't it? I managed to get the lead back. So I was quite happy with that move. Overtook 3 people at once on the Kemmel straight. Yeah, Walcott had no DRS, so he was just a sitting duck. So yeah. So luckily, I managed to clear away from Walcott and also the P3 guy as well. I think Walcott made a mistake here in the middle sector, so he's lost about a second there. So me and Cyclo managed to clear away from the rest of those guys, and that guy's still in P3. So yeah, so he's kind of alright. Walcott's back into P4, so he's got no penalty, so he might have a chance for a podium or something. And then those guys are fighting for P3, while me and Cyclo are fighting for P1. I was trying to go defensive at the bus stop, so I had to push him, close the door on him. Luckily, it was alright. It turns out I got a 2-second penalty, but he won. So yeah, so I just did it for fun, and that was it. So yeah, so that was Spa, so that was quite fun. So that was really happy with the racing, and good battles on track and all that. So yeah, so that's the results. So not too bad at all. I'm going to end it here. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also notifications as well for more F122 on these videos and more videos on this channel. And I hope you guys have a nice day, enjoy your day, have a nice during the week, good day, see you guys around, have a nice day, and see you later.